Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cypher Sistas, where we will be inviting you to a wonderful cipher where we'll talk about some fabulous things and some hot topics and how to get your party on, man. How you doing over there, sister?
Hey, everybody. It's the one and only Rachel Selah, and I'm super happy to be here. Off to a crazy start for a crazy day, but hey, that's life. Life is life. And so we're here and we're happy to be here. Today, of course, we're going to be talking about cannabis and breastfeeding and being pregnant. And we're going to get into it, but we're not going to give you too much because it's only an hour. And definitely going to give you a disclaimer. Neither myself nor Malika are medical professionals. However,
Yet.
we do have in-depth and intimate knowledge of breastfeeding, pregnancy, and nursing with cannabis. So we'll get into that today, and we're just really happy that you're all here. So, what's up, Malika? What you smoking on?
So this is San Fernando Valley, and I didn't pull up my strain. Let's pull it up. What are you smoking on over there, darling?
I'm just as bad as you, so I'm gonna pull mine up too. But I know the name of it. It's called Platinum Lemon Cherry.
Okay.
It's a
Platinum.
gelato strain.
She said platinum.
It's really, really good. It's really good. I mean, it's been getting me through my week. I ain't gonna lie. It been keeping me pretty good. I,
Okay, okay.
I will say that. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm sorry that I should have had this up too, and that's my bad.
So
Because
this
I
is
wasn't
a
even sure I was gonna be having my strain this week because daytime. I don't know if I call it.
I
Here we
know,
go.
I know. It gets kind of rough. I need my spliff in the day to start the day, but smoking throughout the day is something I don't necessarily do all the time because
Exactly.
sometimes you got to
So,
do work. But this is a
so
San Fernando Valley. It's a Kush, right? OG, bam. And this
nice.
has a lemony flavor, and it's gonna make me sleepy, which is probably why I shouldn't be smoking this right now because I got a lot of shit to do today. Got like 3 shows, but it should make me relax and euphoric as well. It's herbal, spicy, pine, and lemon.
All right. So mine is a platinum lemon cherry gelato.
Mm.
It's supposed to be an evenly balanced hybrid. It is. It's a cross between Girl Scout mint thin Girl Scout cookies and lemon haze.
Mm.
Um, I would say it's actually kind of purple. The buds are kind of purple,
You
which
know
I
I'm a fan of the perps.
exactly. I told you perps be working for me. I don't know what
I
it is.
love me a perp, man.
It has the lowest percentage of THC is 27%. So yeah, it's definitely not good. They use it to treat. It says it can be used to treat chronic fatigue, which keeps you meaning energized.
I'm sleepy
That's
all the
true.
time
That's
anyway.
true because I definitely needed an extra boost this week, and this helped. It also helps with focus, migraines, depression, chronic stress. Hell yeah.
Wait. Are you gonna have some of that shit when I see you on Saturday or Friday or whatever day we going? You don't need to
I
put a
might.
little bud to the side, man. You got to put a
I
bud
might
to the
grab it. I
side.
might.
I'll bring you some San Fernando Valley to put you to sleep, but
We could do an exchange. I got you.
I got a
Oh my
whole
god.
thing waiting.
Also, I wanted to tell everyone I finally tried one of the strains on my bucket list, and it was Durban Poison.
Okay, tell us about it.
Durban Poison is nice. Okay.
It was hitting.
It's nice. It's really nice. It hit. It hit. So it gets getting transferred to my from my bucket list to go into my top 20.
Okay,
I don't know what number it has yet, but
but it's in the
it's in
top
my
20.
top 20. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, look, I'm gonna jump into some of this legislation really quick. Excuse me.
Damn, that San Fernando.
Look, then put my lipstick on my chin, hitting like a motherfucker. I need to work on my cursing. I am working on it.
This is an adult show.
I understand, but I try to be classier. Um, I'll cuss on my other stuff. All right. So Washington State is now protecting job applicants from cannabis discrimination outside of work.
Hey,
So that's kind of a big deal, right?
that's
Because that means,
good.
like, the whole state is saying you can smoke, just don't do it at work. Which, I mean, you dare to get paid to do some work, so
And
hopefully you're not
that,
smoking at work all the time.
that's awesome because I feel like and this is something that we need to, like, people need to really acknowledge. They're trying to prohibit cannabis the way that they prohibit alcohol, but it doesn't
Mhm.
work in the body the same way that alcohol works in the body.
No.
So testing someone and seeing, oh, they have cannabis in their system, but they could be completely sober
Yeah,
at the time of whenever occurred. So you
yeah.
can't use that. You know what I'm saying? So they need to start really uh, doing better.
Well, I mean, they act like they don't know the effects of cannabis, but they do. They just
Hmm.
playing dumb. And so, like, cannabis doesn't affect people the same way that alcohol does. Like
Agree. Or
nobody
opioid or
or
opioids for
opioids.
that
Yeah.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you're smoking cannabis, you're more than likely not gonna go kill anybody.
Not only that, you could do mad stuff.
Yeah,
Like historically, cannabis was
a medicine.
a medicine for people in like if you there's a hold on one second because I want to get this book so I can appreciate it. What is this book called?
So yeah, the way that they're labeling cannabis nowadays is just unfortunate. It is not right, but I think it's because more marginalized.
I must have put the book on a different bookshelf. So, anyways, but it's a book that studies cannabis throughout history, and like the earliest findings, and show that most people who were using cannabis were people who like were service providers, people who had hard jobs, and they used it to like sustain themselves in a
Mm.
therapeutic way. They used it to keep going, and so
And keep calm. Hell, if
in
you're a
the
waitress or a
you'll
hostess, I know
you'll
it.
find that what happened was like um white people, because we're just going to be colonizers, didn't find cannabis to be a cosmopolitan type of like a absinthe or a, you know what I mean, they didn't find the experience to be what absinthe or other opioids give you, so they kind of shunned it. That was the beginning of the prohibition of cannabis because it was for the people who were of lower classes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The marginalized, lower socioeconomic people
Yep.
were smoking cannabis and
And using it
and,
as
and
teas,
using
as
it as
medicine.
teas.
Yep.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got some tea right here. Shoot. But teas and medicines and things like that, and they just it wasn't them using it. They were more attracted to the cocaine. Okay.
But even that, like when the conquistadors came to that side of the world, the people that they enslaved, they were using the coca leaves just as endurance. They weren't processing it and making it into, you know.
Yeah. Facts. Preach, Edu. Preach, Rachel. Preach. Preach, ma'am. All right. So look, the poll says that 68% of conservatives, these are our Republican fans and our Republican people, support federal cannabis uh, prohibition. So yeah, 68. So again, different classes, different socioeconomic groups. Black folks or people of lower socioeconomic incomes are most likely to vote Democrat, not necessarily Republican. And it's been proven out there. Conservatives are typically either wealthy or pretending that they are, even though they may be still staying in a trailer park. But
That's what I was gonna say.
but I was trying to find a tactful way to say it. And there's nothing wrong with living in a trailer park. I'm not
There
judging
isn't.
anybody.
There
I'm not
isn't.
judging anybody. But it's just the wealthier and those folks seem to be more on the conservative side, especially in the southern states, than they are, in the liberal side. Now, I'm kind of in the middle, so I go both ways, depending on what they're talking about. But yeah. For cannabis, I'm all the way live with the Democrats. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I was hoping, just to point out a few things, I was hoping Biden's ass, because he talked about legalizing federal cannabis. That was part of his deal, along with HR 40, right? Our 40 acres and a mule. I ain't heard shit about that. Nobody's been pardoned, right? Because Biden was talking about how he was going to expunge some of these records of people that were in there in federal prisons for marijuana use or cannabis distribution. He was supposed to pardon those people. Those people haven't been pardoned. So, you know, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm telling you some people make promises that they ass can't keep, and that's most politicians. Period. So, but Biden ain't doing what the hell he said he wanted to do. Yeah, I ain't seen my HR 40 check. I still need my 40 acres and a mule. I ain't seen, and I haven't seen federal.
I wonder, like, do people who are not necessarily like Americans, like if you are like, so for me, I'm a first generation American. Like I'm first born in this soil. My parents are Caribbean, so I don't think we get anything.
Y'all gotta talk to your country.
Yeah, apparently.
And I mean,
look. And that's why that's not going to happen, because then it's going to enact reparations from every single colonizing body.
Hey,
right?
Man, I am not offended for that.
Holla at your girl, France, because Haiti definitely had to pay y'all the sum of over
millions of dollars.
$million.
Yeah, millions of dollars in order to be recognized as a colony.
So you need to reparate that back to them.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of places that owe us some money. Shit. If we're going down the line, I want to get to the person that look. But
they're never going to do it.
Caribbean and the U.S. But I neither. So
they're never going to do it. That's why.
But for people that have immigrated, I get that. I get it. But at the end of the day, don't I mean, hell, somebody need to get a check. And
I mean, what happened to the so-called like hypothetical California situation when they were supposedly going to be giving reparations that way? There's
a couple of states like that right now that are looking into that. And they're looking at the fact that you've had to live or reside in that state for a certain number of years. And there's some other stuff that's tied to that. But I think that they're still pushing for it and looking for it. States are now independently doing reparations for them.
And I feel like, how do you endeavor to quantify or qualify what value of reparations you could possibly give to a people that you have disenfranchised?
I've got land that's been stolen from my family. I want my land back.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Give me my fucking land back, and I don't care who's on it now. Get the fuck off of it. My family deserves that land. My great grandfather paid for that land. You know what I mean?
I do
hard for that land. Yeah. And then they came in and they stole it, and I want it back.
That's how I feel about our family in Haiti.
Yeah, I get it. Like, but that's a conversation that and I hear what you're saying from an international standpoint. I get it. But
no, I'm just saying, really like, expect the US from a standpoint of like, because that's going to also create division amongst us, like watching some people get reparations while some people
always
you know what I'm saying? No. I'm just saying, like, it's a good idea in the abstract, but until it's like, is it a feasible thing? That's what I'm saying. How could you possibly, you know what I'm saying? They're saying it's like, it's almost like they're trying to say it could be a band-aid to end all this racial strife. Give us back, give us our reparations, right? All right.
Yeah.
Right. But what happens after that?
Hopefully I spend my money and invest my money properly, so I'll be okay. I want my shit. I hear what you're saying, but I want my money. Sorry, honey. I want my money. And if they
I agree with you, but like, all right. Think about like Reconstruction era, right?
Yes. Where everything was fabulous for people of color.
Right, but then what happened?
They got jealous.
Exactly. The ones that are so-called rich in the trailer parks got jealous, and then Tulsa happened. Philly happened. All those lake towns in the South happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're going to get ours, but you manage it well.
Lessons. You got to learn from those lessons. And I think that back then, because the laws were not necessarily always.
You're frozen.
Uh-oh. I don't know what to do. Am I still frozen?
Nah, you good now.
So all of those things that happened back in the day, I think that there are lessons that we learned from that, right? So now I'm sure there's going to be better security around the communities. I personally am for segregation. I don't want to live with them. I'm cool with that.
Empress says,
Yeah, let's post it up there.
yeah, Empress says there's no sustainable reparations program in place right now. The current cannabis legislations do not have measures in place to address equity. Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Reparatory, and restorative justice. By the way, Malika, near reparations involves much more than getting a lump sum, and that's what I was trying to get at. I'm asking, like, what would it entail? You know what I mean?
It entails the whole country's mindset has to shift on some level.
Yeah, but it's not all right.
But that's not what's going to
happen.
Let
me give you an example. There's a show. It's called The Watchmen. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. It was on HBO about 2 years ago. Regina King was the star of the show, right? Mm-hmm. So in this made up world, they took a real story, which was the Tulsa massacre, right? And then they used this world where Black people came back to Tulsa and they are starting to get reparations, but from this reparations act. And it creates a whole it's like a whole bunch of trailer park type people now create almost a race war. And they start killing and start to the point where they actually end up massacring a whole police force. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
Would reparations really make everything better? I hate to be that person. I feel like there's something else that needs to happen besides this.
Nothing's going to make everything better. Nothing can give us back our freedom. Nothing can give us back the years that we've suffered oppression. Nothing can give us back, right? Yeah. There's nothing that can give that back. But you handed me 40 acres of land, and I can now move my family on that. Maybe I don't pay taxes for a certain number of years. I don't know how that's going to go down. But at the end of the day, you're giving me back a little slice of what you've taken. I'm not thinking that they're going to be able to fully. It's not going to make me whole. No. Reparations can never make me whole. But it goes towards them recognizing, or this country starting to recognize that people suffered.
And honestly, I think, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, this standpoint is more in terms of the best thing that will come out of that is a stimulation of the economy. Because at the end of the day, they can grant you the 40 acres and a mule, but if you understand how, the law works and stuff like that, they still kind of own the land.
Yeah, they do.
Give it to you, you know what I'm saying? They still.
I own several.
There is no sovereignty, and that's what we need. The other people, these people. This is my damn show. White people can have a certain level of sovereignty that they're just born with.
Yes.
We don't have that.
Exactly.
And that's the missing component. And no amount of money is going to
give us that. Honestly, I don't know. Look, after so many years, I don't know if people like living around white folks. If I'm gonna be honest, there's just there's nobody wants to watch that privilege. I would rather live in a segregated community if I'm keeping it a buck with white people like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I do only want to live around people just like me. I'm not gonna let you. I'm very comfortable.
I want my kids to see Black teachers. I want them to interact with Black doctors. I'm cool with that type. Give me my land and let me be segregated. If that's the case, I don't care.
My thing is, what if Black people regentrify their own old hoods that they grew up in? You know what I mean?
But they don't, because they don't have
that
money.
Would make more sense instead of moving out. Bringing all the shit that you love about other places to your neighborhoods. I don't know. I think that's kind of what was happening in Bed-Stuy before I left, but also it was a wave of others coming into.
New York is not even, look, Chocolate City ain't Chocolate City no more. DC is not Chocolate City.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
I feel like they never stood a chance though because of how adjacent they are to all of the government stuff.
No, but they did. It was Chocolate City for many years. It's just the last 20 years white folks started moving into the city. Just the last 20 years. They were never really there. They had certain pockets, Capitol Hill was always a white type area. but like the rest of the surrounding area, it was totally black.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was little pieces of Northwest that were white. But heck, my ex-husband grew up in Northwest.
Word though. Word.
So it still was black. And that is now
And I
gone.
did when I was a kid, I did used to say that
It was
DC.
black.
I used to say DC was the Brownsville of America.
Yeah. And I
If
loved
you
it.
know Brownsville, then you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking
And you love it because it's like they had Howard University Hospital. They had places of higher education in the city that were accessible. DC allowed their residents to go to school for free if that's what you wanted to do.
That's
Just
what's good.
unfortunate a lot of people didn't take advantage of that.
That's a shame.
It really is because DC could have been on another level. DC's always had a black mayor or governor. I mean, a black mayor. Heck, they still supported Marion Barry after he got caught with crack.
I forgot about that.
So, yeah. We're going to have to change our mindset before you can see the changes you're speaking about. Yeah, that's facts. Because Africans straight off the continent don't appreciate African Americans.
Agree.
Yeah.
But I'm not
And there's
I'm not
division
gonna
between
even,
Caribbean
I don't even
and
want to get into that conversation right
no,
now.
we're not going to jump into it, but there's just division in the African community.
I would say just division amongst black people, period. And let's call it that.
Division amongst who?
Black people.
Oh,
period.
yeah. And that's the problem. We got to get out of that crabs in the bucket syndrome. We really do. We have to do better. We have to support each other. But you can't be expecting me to support you if you charging triple what the man down the street is charging. I'm just saying. Or your customer service is
I'm gonna say something about that really quickly, and then I think we should definitely finish up
the legislation. Yeah, because we still.
But I wanted to say about that. Sometimes when a black business charges you more than, let's say, your average other business, it's because they have to go through mad hoops to give you the quality that you're getting, and they don't necessarily have access to, you know what I'm saying, the products, like the line of supply that the other company that's giving it for cheaper may have. And sometimes right now it does cost you a little more to support your brother or your sister. And so I just say keep that in mind. I don't think people just be really trying to come up off you. It's literally them really trying to build their stuff.
I get it. And that means we got to create better networks on some level. We got to figure it out. Yeah.
Agree.
Because if one guy is charging
that
$2
I don't feel like that
dog,
should be a reason to not support a business though.
No, I usually don't support if the business has horrible customer service. And I don't care what color you are.
I don't care what race you are. Customer service is key.
Yeah.
If you have bad customer service,
then I don't want to deal with you, and I don't care what color you are. Yeah. And unfortunately, in the area that I live in, customer service is an oxymoron just on general. So it's and it seems like I get it worse from people that look like me. Yeah.
So legal.
All right. So let's see. North Carolina has a vote for medical cannabis in the Senate. That's a big deal because North Carolina currently has no medicinal.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I didn't want to move there.
Yeah, that is the reason I don't want to move nowhere.
I was thinking about moving there a couple of years ago, and then Deb was like, "What's the situation with cannabis?" Oh,
nope. I'm staying my happy ass right here for a minute. HR 1003 directs Secretary of VA, Veterans Affairs, to study cannabis and PTSD. We talked about it, but now they've actually got a bill that they're trying to push forward. So that's a positive.
I love it. Good.
Right. So now veterans will be able to.
The vets need it.
And with that PTSD, man, I'm telling you.
I'm not gonna stop saying that. So I'm glad. Yes, that's
Yeah.
good news.
And let's see, BDSA leader in market intel projects that oh yeah, all right. So BDSA, a leader in market intel, is projecting that it'll be about $59.6 billion of revenue in cannabis by 2027.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm
that's
gonna
what
need
I'm
some of
talking
that
about.
revenue to be mine, though.
You need some what?
I said I'm gonna need some of that revenue to be mine, though.
Yeah, same here, honey. Same here. That's what we aiming for. That is what we aiming for. Empress, thank you for all your comments, man.
For
We're all
real, for
guilty
real.
in the
Thank you
first
for
place because when anybody,
participating.
yeah, yeah, a lot of us don't realize that the common oppressor is the one. And I'm talking about they oppressing everybody.
Word. It's not
From the
just
China man
like
to the black man. Everybody. Y'all think y'all may got it better? You just got it a little bit better. Don't forget about them Japanese camps that they had, the concentration camps back in the
and
1940s.
honestly, the real
And those
oppressor
people got
is
reparations.
the real oppressors are just the rich. Like, let's keep it a beam.
Yeah.
It's not about race. At the end of the day, the only place that really focuses on race is here.
That's true.
It's about class everywhere else. It's all about class. I was watching before we go, and I just want to do this for real. I mean, before we go on, just because it ties into the topic, I like to watch like English shows. So shows from the United Kingdom.
I know. I like those too.
Because I'm obsessed with Black people in other places now. Like I like to see the commonalities, but the differences just being only language, really. So I was watching Top Boy. I don't know if you guys watch this show. It's called Top Boy. I love it. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite shows, and I actually was rewatching it, to be honest with you. And
What
so
channel
I was
did you
watching
catch on?
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
I'll send it to you later.
All right, cool.
You'll love it.
Or share the link in our group.
No, I'm not giving Netflix my money. Psych. I'm not giving Netflix any promotions. If y'all want to see Top Boy, y'all know where it is. Go Google that. Right. But seriously, let me get back to the point. So there's a scene where these kids they got pulled over by the cops and they were getting arrested. And immediately I'm worried and I'm scared for them. Don't you know these kids was cussing the cops out? And I'm talking about, hey, you public servant, man. You know, bad man things. Get off of me, yo. Get the hell off of me, yo. Talking mad shit to the cops. And I was like,
yo, are you whispering?
Because I can't be loud. There's kids in the house.
Anyway. No, because you went like down 3 tones. She was like, talking that shit to the cops. Wait. You just went all the way to the inside voice.
Yo. But that shit was crazy to me because the whole time I was watching that scene on edge, waiting for the cops to like mollywop them, choke them, lynch them, do all the shit that happens here. And none of that happened. They was talking mad shit to the cops.
I mean, honestly, this is a horrible.
This is not the first time that I've seen this type of space where Black people are, there's like a certain level of racism, but it's more like the white people who are in the same places, in the same spaces as them, they don't look at them like that.
Yeah, they look at them as equals. Yeah,
exactly. And so it's here to me.
It's here.
How ingrained racism is so much a part of our psyches that we don't even notice it until we take a step back and like look at other stuff and see that other people don't get down like that.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean?
They really don't. I was talking to a friend of mine, and to interject to your story, very similar situation. So I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a doctor of statistics from Cameroon, right? So he was born and raised in Cameroon, but when it came time to go to college, he decided to go to Russia, right? Mm-hmm. So he went to Russia because he could get the free schooling and everything, and nobody else was going to go to Russia. Everybody else was trying to get to France or England or something else. Nobody chose Russia but him. So he gets over there and he starts talking about like how he this Russian dude like pissed him off. So he says, I kick off my flip-flops. And me and him were rumbling. And I was like, really? And he was just talking, and it was his professor, right? So he kicked off his flip flops and went. And I was like, dude, if we had done anything like that, if you had done that over here, you'd have been expelled and arrested.
Very much. Very much.
Now, white kid could do that, but we can't. Not here.
Hell yeah.
Not here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's amazing. And I honestly have to say that from my interactions with people from other countries, specifically from the main continent of Africa, I see how they interact with the white man, and they consider themselves equals. I love that. They don't take too much shit. They don't take too much shit when it comes to talking to them people. They don't at all. And I even see it at work. Like at work, we have a African guy that was a major, and he used to come in and he'd be like, "Yo, I'm not doing this," and they couldn't do shit to him because it was supposed to be given to a captain. The captain said he ain't gonna do it, so they passed it to the black major, and he was like, "Fuck you, I ain't doing this shit. Pass that shit back down to him, or go to a lieutenant, but don't holler at me." So it's interesting to see the way that stuff like that goes. You know what I mean? It is. And I respect those people from other countries that are able. And I mean, those people have also influenced the way that about the way that I interact with folks as well. And it's different now.
Yeah.
Because I demand the same respect that they demand.
As you should.
Very much so. Yeah.
As you should. And honestly, I wish that I would have been granted the space. Like it's a real gift that, not to say that class isn't something, classism isn't something to be acknowledged, but at least racism isn't coming to the table. I feel like racism definitely is louder than classism.
Here
we can't even acknowledge classism here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah. Did you have any more legal stuff, or did you?
I don't.
Except the tobacco bill.
Yeah.
So about that bill in California.
Yeah, I did. Where they're talking about anybody born after 2006, they are no longer allowed to buy tobacco products.
I'm for it.
I'm against it. I don't want you telling me what the fuck I can and can't put in my body. If I decide I want to,
American,
huh?
I say you're such an American.
You damn right. I want the same freedoms that the Constitution guarantees to
and I want the freedom to not die from secondhand smoke.
You ain't gotta die from secondhand smoke. Maybe they just smoke it in their own house, or
right, but they're not gonna do that. They're not going to do that.
You can't smoke in public in California anyway. That law.
All right.
Yeah, that law has been up for.
You got me there.
So now they're regulating what kind of cigarettes people are smoking. They've taken the Newports out of stores. You can't buy Newports in California no more. Most people of color smoke Newports.
Frank said that's a government overreach.
It really is. It's too much. I think that they're doing too much. Soon they're going to be telling me how to spend my money. Don't tell me what I can and can't have. If I decide that I want it, let me have it.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes we don't want. I know it's a fine line. It's a fine line. So I'm going to say that I agree with them and I'm for it. But I definitely understand what you're saying, because it's like, when will it stop? If you accept one prohibition, when will the prohibitions end? And the government definitely, I don't feel like the government has a right to tell anybody what they should do with their bodies. Like, it's
facts.
It's not your say.
Exactly.
But in a way, it is because of how our country is set up. They can't tell us exactly what they want us to do with our bodies. So there you go. They can.
If I want to drink, I'm gonna drink. If I want to smoke, I want to smoke. If I want to smoke cannabis, I'm gonna smoke cannabis. I should be able to do with my body what I choose to do.
And that's being a true revolutionary. That's the real revolution, standing in your sovereignty and autonomy as a human being on this earth.
Exactly.
And not letting a nation decide what you do with your body.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're talking about, so we've got people that smoke authentic spliffs, right? So they get the Fontenot or the funnel or whatever.
Fronto.
Yep, the Fronto. So they mix that in with their marijuana or their cannabis. That means if you're born after 2006, you can't buy that no more.
So you can't. So what about, you can't like be a person who has one tobacco plant in your house? If you're a Fronto smoker, you're not buying processed tobacco anyways. It's just a natural tobacco leaf. So
yeah, and you can buy leaves in the store. A lot of people buy leaves.
I mean, you can't just grow your own. That's the California vibe, isn't it? Grow your own shit all the time.
I mean, it kind of is, but ain't nobody growing tobacco.
I'm sure there's some free range.
There is probably some free range weirdo, and those are the same people with the chickens in the yard, and that's cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you, California got a lot of weirdos. I know y'all don't like. I know y'all gonna get mad at me for that one, but
I don't think they're weird. They're independent.
Y'all can come for me all y'all want. Nope. But y'all Californians, y'all be different.
Yeah, because we like our freedom.
Y'all want something different. Oh,
yeah. And they're trying to kill personalities and push autonomy. That's what's up, Established. Welcome to the team, brother. Yeah,
hey, Established.
But yeah, no, don't tell me what the fuck I can't do. Leave me and my body alone. I like a good cigar.
And that's why you need to always live here until they kill all of our freedoms. So then you gotta find somewhere else to live.
Oh shit, I'm going to France.
High keto, I'm definitely loving the way that the people of France don't take no shorts.
Yeah.
And it's been historically that way for the entire, like,
anybody that speaks French don't take no shit. And them Haitians didn't speak take no shit. Look. Haitians, I love it. And they know that there's plenty of black folks in France. And if some shit go down, they scared it's going to end up the way Haiti did them. So they ain't coming too crazy either. No. I like the respectful people.
But also, even their own people. Hello, French Revolution wasn't no joke.
No, it wasn't. No, they don't play no games.
Out here beheading whole queens.
Facts. But them people were starving those folks.
Yeah,
there's only so much you won't take,
and that's what I'm trying to say, because that's what it always goes back to.
How you treat your people. Yeah,
classism.
Yeah, they throwing away food that other people are starving for. Like what the
hell? They really do. At supermarkets, they throw away food all the time. They burn in farms and factories right now. Like we could really get into it.
Yeah,
they really are. All of these chicken plants and egg factory facilities and all of these food facilities that keep on randomly burning up or exploding. I mean, there's nothing we can do but
get some chickens.
Yeah,
get some chickens.
Find some chickens of your own, and until they make that illegal, keep your chickens in your house. Like if you have a yard, literally. I've been looking into that actually. I don't even eat eggs.
And you were looking for a chicken coop?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having some chickens.
You know what? If you get some chickens, I'll buy my eggs from you because
they eat snakes and they eat, worms and keep your yard pest free. So it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And I like birds.
Yeah,
and I know the kids would love it.
I like birds from afar.
I'm gonna see.
See, I was wondering why the eggs cost has gone up, and the Newport's hundreds now. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're selling cigarettes at like prices that are outrageous. In New York, it's like $15 for a pack.
Addictive. They're an addictive.
I understand,
but they know people already got to pay for it.
Then just charge me around $15 and leave me the fuck alone. Let me smoke my shit.
This ain't crack, Nia. This is a real business. And they want to get as rich as they can.
No, I know. Well, crack drug dealers are real businessmen too. I'm not going to take away.
No, I'm saying they understand what their customers are capable of.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
they're
not going to. That's who I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm
but
saying
cigarette
crackheads,
killers are,
their prices don't seem to change on the crackheads. That's what I'm trying to
oh
tell you.
yeah, because they already know they always are.
They let the crackheads budget, and they make their money, their little quota for what they gotta get, and they go get it.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Crackheads really be like, I just need $5 more. $5 more.
Standing on the corner for whatever you need. I get it, man.
As soon
But
as
yeah,
they get their money, they go get what they gotta get, and then they worried they good till they need their next. You feel me?
I do. So
Yeah.
look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think we're gonna
Nah,
skip
don't.
the second topic because we got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, let me see if I can
So
make it short enough.
Prego and smoking.
Yeah, so let's really get into it, and we may have to do a part 2 if I can't get through everything. So forgive me, everybody. Yes, crack is still a
Yes,
thing, and
yes. Empress, they
I
are
mean,
still smoking crack.
fentanyl, and all that other shit is taking over, but crack is still in the game.
Yep, fentanyl, all that shit. You right?
Because I think crack is cheap. So
Crack is still cheap.
if you can't get those other things, that's probably what you go to. I'm assuming. I don't know because I don't deal with that shit.
Yeah, I'm scared of it. I can't fuck with it.
No opioids for this girl.
No, I can't say I've never taken like a Percocet or something if I was in some deep pain.
Oh but yeah, I guess that's how I know it's not for me.
Oh, she thought they replaced it with meth. Yeah, I mean meth is a new.
I forgot you call meth ice because I literally was about to be like, "What the hell is ice?"
I had to help you out. That's why I jumped in there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like ice is more like white people's crack.
It is.
Like, can we just be honest?
Yeah, because black folks ain't really.
I don't really see black people doing meth. Maybe in other places, but like in New York, I don't really haven't seen that here. I don't see that. There's just crackheads around here. Your regular old go-to crackheads.
Yeah.
Because I know what a meth head look like, and none of the people around here are displaying meth behavior,
meth tendencies. Crackheads know how far they can go.
He said, "I swear I was asking myself who smoked crack."
I was trying to think somebody hard.
There was a time. I feel like there was a time when crack like kind of petered out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
getting busted.
And all the people all the people who were crackheads, because the kids who grew up seeing crackheads was really like, whoa, I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like, seeing crackheads was the number one
turn off
reason why I would never try those type of drugs. Because I was like, yo, I'm not gonna be walking around here looking like this. Like, I don't ever want to be in a space where I don't have control of my faculties. That's why I don't like.
Facts.
And my crackheads
You said what?
High daughter of the Most High God. You didn't miss it. We were a little late. Sorry about that. But I was saying, like, the crackheads that I grew up around, there was some different type of crackheads.
Yeah. I mean, I saw professional people go from like being real professional to like nothing.
That's what I'm saying. In a matter of weeks.
That's what
I'm saying. Yeah. But we grew up in the 80s and 90s. It's a different type of crack perspective.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Because it was, and also people may have stopped being as free selling crack because the penalties were so high.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
like
true.
If you did that crime, you were going to jail for life. You smell a little weed or a little coke or a little meth on the side, you're not going to jail for life. I'm gonna sell the shit that ain't gonna keep putting me in jail for life. That's me, but you know. All right.
Yeah.
Empress says, "Yeah, well, they're killing people here in Hawaii with that shit."
Oh yeah, I believe you. I definitely believe you 100%.
That's crazy.
It seems to be more prevalent in spaces like that, though. You know what I mean?
In paradise.
In spaces where unfortunately people seem to be a bit more bored or less creative with their free time.
Well, I mean, okay, so look. I don't know if it's that, or I don't know if it's the fact that in Hawaii, in California, I can just live outside. Like, dude, I can make it in my car. No, seriously, because the weather's not
So you
going to be
mean
so
like
bad
a lack of responsibility to society?
at all.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, because
Definitely get that.
and they're collecting like whole checks. Like people living in their car, they can park at Petco Park in San Diego, and get like $900 in food stamps. I mean, yeah. California's paying their bills. That's why they broke. That's why I can't live there. They are not financially savvy.
Wow.
All the taxes that they charge. So California has the really rich and the really poor, right? And there's a couple of people in the middle, but the really rich were really poor, and because it's just too expensive to live out there. But anyway, I digress. Let's run through these comments really quick, and we'll get back to pregnancy and smoking. Not these days. These folks like the zombie effect. Yeah, it's crazy. Frank Lewis, the YA baby. California is meth now, while New York used to be heroin.
Yeah, that's true. But that's crack too.
The reality is that you can still get prison time for cannabis, but it's not life without parole. Like they were getting kids in California for like, and that's Miss Harris, our vice president, Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with the 3 strikes law, and with crack you could even have like crack you could have a small amount and you were going to jail for a long time. You could have been a smoker and you going to jail because they got you with intent to distribute. They got you with all. So the crime in California, or at least in California, there are a lot of guys in jail for like small amounts of crack. So anyway, go ahead.
Terrible.
Yeah, it is.
But you already know who those laws are for.
Yeah,
they're not. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it a being. They're preying on the people who are the people suffering from. Like, they're not making any monetary. They weren't making any monetary gain from it.
Yeah, they weren't.
Exhausting. It's fucking exhausting being a human being sometimes.
And it's exhausting and it's disappointing. It's very disappointing to see, I mean, I know that we know that they treat us like shit here, but it's just really sad to see how many families have been ruined behind something, where these guys were just trying to make a living for their family.
Yeah. And so, all right, when you say that, right, just trying to make a living for their family. No. I'm about to ask you a question, and it's a question I feel like we should also all really ask ourselves, right? Are we upset? Because we're going back to the initial talk about the bill where the government deciding what we can put in our bodies.
Yes.
Why are we angry at drug dealers then?
I'm not.
Okay. So you don't
I don't think anything should be regulated. You know what? Survival of the fittest. Shit.
All right. I do think it should be regulated in that only adult use.
Oh yeah. No, there shouldn't be people out there standing on kids' corners trying to get the kids.
Yeah. I feel like that's where the laws.
I think you should be killed for that.
There should be prohibition in place for anyone under 18. That's what I feel like.
Facts.
But other than that, people judging drug dealers for selling drugs and stuff like that, I never
judge them. They're trying to make a living because that's the only opportunity they had. If everything was fair, the opportunities would be different, right? If everything was fair, and white kids are expected you're going to college. Black kids, you go to college and people go like, what? And there's like applause.
I mean, I feel like that's not even really it. I feel like because honestly, the people who I see like selling drugs have been very ingenuitive and very savvy and very intelligent and maybe never needed. Who the hell says that people?
But I'm just saying these are expectations because that education was tied to you becoming whatever it was that you
college is a classist.
It's a very classist thing, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we never got to experience the like they did a whole fucking McDonald's commercial about somebody going to college. Calvin's going to college.
It should. Sorry, Empress just asked a good question.
Hold up.
I'm sorry. Yeah. We're not going to get to talk about cannabis and breastfeeding this week, guys,
No, we're
because
not.
it's much. But this is still a good conversation. And I'll promise you, in honor of not even a promise, although I don't think a promise is a comfort to a fool because I'm a person who keeps their word regardless. Your word is your word. Okay. So back to what I was saying. Um, as
He
the
said
most
that
high,
morning blunt hit different, huh? He said it twice, so that's what I'm saying it too.
Yeah. That morning bud hit real good. Established. You
Yeah.
missed it because I was trying to tell y'all the strain. I'm gonna come back to my point but I just want to answer established in 87. Um, you missed it because this strain is purple and it's dope. So go back and listen and put what you smoking on in the chat. But I was trying to say is as long as the Most High wills it, next week we will, as soon as we end hot topics, we will get into nursing and being pregnant while using cannabis because it's an important topic. Simply because
Yeah.
it ties into what we're talking about right now, and that is the disparities in Black mothers
Yeah.
versus white mothers and how they're viewed in using and nursing cannabis, because that's the first place that we have to start, right? They have the right to do. There's mad white weed moms out here right now. I've seen them write books. They're in groups. They're proudly, standing on their belief that cannabis is something that they should be able to use while nursing, while being pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black women who are choosing to do this definitely have
Go
a
through it.
whole have a whole a bigger battle to fight than the white women who are their counterparts, right? And so it's important for us to have this discussion to educate our sisters, one, about how it's working in the body, what's really happening to your child, what the benefits and disadvantages are, how to use the cannabis properly to benefit you and to benefit your seed as well. You feel me? How to the list goes on and on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to also identify that the fact that these synthetic cannabinoids, which a lot of people are using just freely,
Yeah.
may not be the best choice to use in your body. Also, to know that there are other cannabinoids within cannabis that aren't THC. So you don't have to go the psychoactive route, but you can still get the benefits. Like, I'm super excited about this talk. I don't think that I wasn't prepared,
She
but we
was.
just
She
we
was.
just didn't have enough time. And the first, like, we could talk about this really quickly because yesterday I was going down the rabbit hole, and I'm so excited because
She's nerding out, guys. Go ahead.
they're finally doing a study, because it is something, my whole entire point. They're finally doing a study on why it's easier for white women to report their cannabis use to their provider so that they could get real information versus why Black women are not reporting it, right? And we all know why. We
Because they're
all
going to
know
take
why.
our children.
But
They're going to
but
call
I'm
CPS
glad
and take our
that they're
children.
even doing a
The
study.
study. Yeah.
Okay, because it needs to be done. That's where it needs to start, because then that's going to open the door for actual studies to happen where you can really test what's going on, what's happening, what's the long-term effects, what's the short-term effects, cannabinoid by cannabinoid. It's exciting. It's exciting because just telling someone, oh, you shouldn't do it because. So I read an article and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was by Frontier Psychiatry, the people who always prescribe meds to people. So I was already like, all right. And it's called Cannabis Use in Pregnant and Breastfeeding Women, Behavioral and Neurological Consequences. And they literally had the nerve to say that the women in this study suffered from cannabis use disorder, or CUD.
What the hell is that?
I read the article and I still don't know. They made up something.
They always making up something.
Okay.
So now with that, we got to go down the rabbit hole and see who funded that study.
Right. And I was too tired to do all of that, but that's exactly like my next move, because I need to, because that's another thing. There's going to be a whole bunch of racial disparities within the studies, because there was one study done in 2017 where they tested like how the interactions in breast milk are with a nursing woman and when she smokes or when she consumes edibles, right? They found that less than 2.5% of the cannabinoids present went into the breast milk, and then a smaller percentage of that was found in the baby, right? So that already lets you know what that baby's not getting high.
Yeah, the baby, it's not transferring. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but
isn't it amazing how smart the cannabinoids are to know not to go to the baby? You know what I mean?
It's not even that. It's the way our bodies metabolize it.
Yeah.
It's broken
or how
down, and it's
brilliant your
processed
body is.
different than alcohol is processed. And it also matters the way that you ingest it as well. So to the moms who are concerned, you don't have to smoke. There's other ways to enjoy cannabis. So you don't have to smoke cannabis to enjoy it. I tell people this 1,000 times. I'm never going to stop saying it. There's other ways to enjoy cannabis. Smoking is just your choice.
I'm enjoying it in my tea.
So that shouldn't impede you from enjoying your cannabis while you're pregnant or nursing. So next week we'll talk about like the elements and things that you can use that cannabis helps with while you're pregnant, like the physiological side and the mental side. We'll talk about like how it interacts in the body, how it interacts with the baby, if it does. I'm going to be quoting direct studies, so it's not coming from just my own speculation, although I am a child of a woman. You saw her in the comments, Empress, who smoked and consumed cannabis all of her pregnancies and nursed me while she was consuming cannabis. And
I was there. I saw it.
Look at me.
She's fabulous.
And I'm actually one of her most healthy children. She can attest to that, but she did definitely consume cannabis with all of us. And we're all amazing, beautiful human beings. Not to say we're perfect, but like on the side of like, we not crack babies.
Yeah.
Like not, and I'm not saying this against crack babies. I'm using it to tell you like the effects of how something like fentanyl or crack or even alcohol, overuse of alcohol would affect the fetus. Cannabis doesn't do that. And that is my entire point. And we shouldn't be stigmatizing mothers who choose to use cannabis because they actually have physical needs and mental needs that cannabis meets. We need to support them and educate them. And so next week, I'm definitely going to be doing that. I definitely nursed and consumed cannabis. And consumed cannabis while I was pregnant. And that's my right because it's my body. And
exactly like them cigarettes.
Look at my children. They're amazing, intelligent, gifted human beings. All praises to the Most High. And that's why they're healthy. Nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? If cannabis was something that was gonna hurt my children, I would have definitely not consumed it. And Empress said one of the best longitudinal studies on cannabis and pregnancy was done over 30 years ago in Jamaica. Exactly. That's an excellent place to study because our Rastafarian culture, women, all my brothers and sisters that I know in the culture, they are like powerhouses of people doing amazing things. So no. But the results were that women only consume cannabis, their child showed no developmental delays. In fact, they did better, than the women who consume cannabis and other drugs. Send the link, please. I would love that. I need that study as well. Thank you.
Share it.
But did we answer everyone's comments? Sorry. When I nerd out. You know what happens when I nerd out.
I believe we did.
Yes, absolutely. Daughter of the Most High. I wanted to go back to that comment because she said edibles, be careful, it will sneak up on you. Absolutely. It's just a matter of learning yourself and figuring out your journey and what edibles you metabolize the fastest, how it works in your body. It's a work in progress, and it's not one size fits all. It just goes back to this is a gateway to self-care. It's a gateway to self-awareness and figuring out what you need. So
exactly. I wanted you to jump back to this comment because I thought it was pretty interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
For real? I didn't know that. I've
You're gonna have to
never
teach
ever
me,
heard that.
Establish.
Can
Teach
you
me.
can you send us some articles or some studies that talk about that?
Yeah, if you send it
Because
to me, Establish, because you've got my number. I'll go ahead and share
I
it.
really am interested in that perspective. That's not even something I what about white people?
Yeah,
I want to know. I
it would
got
be
to know.
interesting. It
I
would
mean,
be
because there are physiological differences in all of us, so that
yeah.
definitely will come to play. Even in how cannabis works in the female body versus the male body, they're very different because we have a similar thing called the ECS, but our ECSs all work different in our bodies. Everybody knows. Come on, y'all. Y'all been to one of my nerd out sessions before, so I know y'all know what an ECS is. Endocannabinoid system. Big word.
And on that note, look, I want to thank everybody for joining us and dropping some comments. Daughter of the Most High God, this is your second time with us. We really appreciate it. Empress, thank you as always.
Thank you for coming through. Frank,
Established
thanks
in
for coming
87.
through.
Yep.
Established. We love y'all. Thanks for joining the Cypher.
Yes.
And we hope to see y'all next week, where I will definitely be in full nerd mode and come with the facts.
Facts and new facts.
All right, y'all. Have a beautiful week.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow.
That's
And
right. And share.
On our Facebook and share. Yes.
Share.
You guys have a great. You guys are sharing is caring, right?
That's right.
Good night or good morning. Peace.